What's up, partner? You about to die, homie? What the fuck is you doing? Hey guys, so the last video I made for Sunday's Navy life was should you join, and now I'm gonna tell you a few things about what to do if and you wanna join. It's pretty easy actually. If you are, let's just go into, if you're still in school, still in high school, sophomore, senior, shit like that, if you're 17 is basically what I'm trying to get at, and you're not 18 just yet, you have to go in with your parent. You have to have parent consent to sign up. And it's actually, if you want to join the military, do not wait till you graduate. Go in high school. And the reason I tell you that is because you're going to get put in DEP, or Delayed Entry Program. I don't know about the other three branches, but the Navy calls it DEP. Basically, that means you signed up, you signed your contract, and now you're waiting for that date to send you off to boot camp. I was in DEP for 2 months, and that was one of the fastest go times, is 2 months. I literally told the guy, well, I walked up to him like, yeah, man, I'm excited. And this is the detailer after I signed up. And he's like, all right, man, when do you want to go to boot camp? I was like, dude, last week, bruh. And he's like, all right, here's your choices. And that's how I picked my job. Do not do what I did, because that's how I ended up on a submarine. But yeah, if you are not 18 yet, you're going to need parents' permission, basically, to sign up for the military. Also, what you're going to need, when you're 17, I don't really know if, like, you know, what paperwork you need, but you're going to need your birth certificate, your real one. And what I mean by real one is, your real one is the one that has like an indent in it. When you rub your hand over it, it's got an actual stamp in it, and they're going to need to copy that. They also need a copy of your social security, your normal ID, and they're going to need your high school diploma when you get one. And you go into the recruiter's office with that nonsense, with all that paperwork, and you say, hey man, I want to join the military. What they're going to do is they're going to, well, depending on how old you are, they may plop you down in a room like they did me and make you take the ASVAB, the practice ASVAB test, to see about where you would be. Basically, they say it's to see where you would be. Really, it's to see how much effort they're going to put into you. I'm not even joking. Fucking dicks. ASVAB is super easy. If you're coming out of high school, you should be able to ace it. Honestly, it's a stupid test. I scored in the 90s. There is no 100%. It's a percentile thing. Basically, the higher it is you get, the more options you have. If you get really high, you get offered like Nuke and stuff like that. Nuke is a very hard program where you have to, like, you're forced to study like a certain amount of time a day, and you have to check in and check out and stuff like that. It's really hard. You get some extra pay, and you generally get qualified faster. You get you do definitely get advanced faster, but it is really hard. Like, it's one of the harder rates. Anyway, so once you do that, and you've taken the practice ASVAB, and they're like, wow, man, this is a great score. I can't wait to get you to MEPS. All right, so the next step is MEPS, and you're going to get coached. I'm not going to go into details about what they tell you, but they may or may not tell you things to not admit at MEPS. Alright? I'm not going to go into detail on that. It's not my place. But you will get coached before you go to MEPS, and then you'll sign a paper at MEPS that says, I wasn't coached. Take that for whatever you will. So then you go to MEPS, and what happens at MEPS is you take the real ASVAB, which is easier than the practice ASVAB. Go figure. And that takes like 2 to 3 hours. That's if you have to. You may not have to if you're kids. I don't, well, I say kids, I mean, you know, like coming out of high school. And then you go and you sit and you wait for everybody else that went with you to finish taking the ASVAB, which is stupid and annoying. You're gonna have to take a piss test that day. So after you get done with your ASVAB, start drinking water and hope that it doesn't take people so long to finish that you sit there and you pee on yourself. Look at this traffic, damn. And you just sit and wait for everybody to finish, and then you go to the next station, which is, I want to say it's your drug test and your HIV test. That HIV, which is what we call HIV test. They take you to your room, you start filling out some stuff. It asks you about drug use and all this stuff, and they say all this shit over and over again, like, we will find out. If you lie to us, we're gonna find out. No, they don't. And so put down whatever you're gonna put down, whatever you want to admit to, and stuff like that. and then you sign some page 13s that basically say, if I get caught, blah, blah, blah. I do believe you take a breathalyzer test right then as well. It's a little cheap thing. Like, you're going to take so many drug tests in your Navy and Navy, Air Force, your military career, that it's going to become routine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be so routine. It's like, oh, I got to pee today? Oh, damn it. And literally, it's an annoyance to do it. Like, we'll be in the office and it's like, oh, dude, you got to pee for Liberty today. It's like, fuck. So if you're a guy like me in a sub, you know, we're in sub, so it's a bunch of guys. So we literally walk around looking for first-class petty officers, asking them if they'll look at your dick. Like, that's literally what we say. Hey, man, can you stare at my dick? And they know what you're talking about. It's like, oh, really? And there's designated guys to do this. So just imagine being the guy designated to stare at penises all day. All day. Yeah. But yeah, drug testing's crazy in the military these days. Anyway, after that, you go to get your blood taken, and they do all these tests. One's for HIV. If you find out you're pregnant there, ladies, that's some shit. It's happened. That's some crazy shit. But anyway, after that, you start doing your physical checks. There's several physical checks. One of them is the infamous one. Everybody looks this up on YouTube. Everybody has searched for it. It's called the duck walk. And basically what it is you just squat down and you walk heel to toe, like across the room. Maybe 10 feet. And that's to make sure your joints aren't broken. And I'll tell you guys, when I squat down, sometimes my knee will completely lock up and come out of the socket, and I was still able to duck walk. So, yeah, it doesn't really check anything. It's just annoying. You do that. I believe you do your weigh-in at the same time. So you get weighed in. For my height, which is about 70 inches, or 5'10", my maximum weight is 195 pounds, and currently I'm fat. I'm over that by like 30 pounds, bro. I'm working on that shit. But your max weight is that. If you are over max weight, don't fret. If you just have a big frame, you get what's called rope-a-choke, which is 100% completely the most infallible, truthful way to find out your body fat percentage. There's no better way in the universe to check for body fat percentage than the rope-a-choke. So they do the rope-a-choke if you don't make weight. And then the next station is, I want to say it's going to be like your vision and your hearing. This is basically like a yearly checkup. You go do your vision and your hearing, and they decide whether you're blind or not, and then you get sent to the worst part. The worst part is, for me anyway, was I went into this room with Herbert the pervert. I mean, this guy was like 90 years old. Told me to face the wall and drop my pants and spread my cheeks. And he stared at my booty hole. This dude got like all up in my booty hole, man. We became good friends that day. He didn't touch it as much as he was looking at it. And then he was like, "What's that?" And he poked my asshole. Like, I was like, ah! That was a horrifying experience. Yeah, so old man poked my asshole at MEPS before I got to go to boot camp. And that's your last station. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. That is your last, like, your checking station where they check on you and shit. After that, they should send you to, like, lunch or something. So then you go to lunch, and you then have to go and talk to the... Is it the detailer? No. Yes. One of these steps might be messed up. It's either you go talk to the detailer or you go and swear in. So you go do your swear in where you say, "I will protect the Constitution," and all that. You say the swear in. I'm brushing that one off because it really means nothing. This swear in means jack shit. So you go do your swear in, and then you go downstairs and you talk to... I say downstairs because in my MEPS it was an upstairs. So you go downstairs and you talk to the detailer. This is the important part. This is literally the most important part of the video. You talk to the detailer. He will say... this is the guy that gives you your job. Now, he's going to play fucking car salesman on you, and he's not going to lie to you, but he's going to play car salesman. And what I mean by that is he knows which rates need people. He knows which rates are hurting for people. And those are going to be the ones he tries to shove down your throat. Like, immediately, he will shove them down your throat. "Yeah, I got these. You can leave right now if you get these jobs." And in my case, one of them was submariner. But, the reason I say this part is so important is do not accept a job you do not want. Don't do it. Remember in my last video I said choose your rate, choose your fate. Once you sign that line for that job, that's your job. You're screwed. And they might tell you, "Oh, well, we could change it." No, we can change it. And there is a process for changing it in boot camp. That never works. So do not pick a job Cops are everywhere today. Do not pick a job you do not want. Refuse to sign if they don't have the job that you want, or a job you're willing to do, at least. You know what I'm saying? They might not have your dream job of being, like, you're not going to be a Navy photographer. Or some other, you know, there's some cushy jobs like that that are out there. You're not going to be that job. Now, if you see the job MC available and you're interested in, like, news, journalists and stuff, that's the job to get, MC. Grab that job, because that one is, like, rarely ever available from what I've seen. And, but yeah, I cannot emphasize that enough. Do not sign the dotted line unless it is a job you are willing to do for 4 years of your life, because you're probably not going to change. They will tell you all of this kind of bullshit. They'll say, like, oh, well, if you don't sign this now, you know, you're going to have to do this all over again, or you're going to have to do this, or you're going to have to do that, or blah, blah. No, fuck them. You say, fuck you. This guy on YouTube told me to say, fuck you, and to not sign it. And I am. I'm telling you to not sign it and say, fuck it. This cab is trying to pass me. Bruh, I'm speeding, bruh. Fucking cash cab over here. Anyway. Like I said, do not sign it unless you're willing to do it. It is worth doing MEPS all over again. I don't even know if you have to do MEPS all over again if you don't sign. But if your job's not available, tell them you will wait. And if he's going to say, well, you got to wait a year, wait a fucking year for your job. It's worth it. Cannot emphasize that enough, all right? You can go back. It is not the end of your process, all right? Now, let's say they have your job. Fuck yeah, sign up for that shit. This is where you ask them weird questions like, is there signing bonuses? Is there anything that I can get extra? This is where you kind of try to haggle. You don't have much haggling room, but you try to haggle and see what you can get out of signing up. And sometimes you can get like $10,000 just for signing up for a specific rate, depending on what rate it is. And not many rates are like that right now. And you can get either like that, you can get that, or you can get like a job that's got a good SRB, which is a selective re-enlistment bonus, which is the same thing as a signing bonus. It's just that you have to re-enlist to get it. And yeah, once you figure out your detailer nonsense, then you sign your papers. They give you this little backpack, and they give you like, oh, this is Navy specifically. They give you Navy like propaganda, basically. It's like, oh, who y'all Navy? And I don't know what our current tagline is. It used to be Global Force for Good. But they give you all that stuff and make you feel all, you know, great and proud, and you get a t-shirt and stuff. And then you enter DEP, Delayed Entry Program. DEP is supposed to prepare your anus for boot camp. Don't worry, boot camp will be the next video. But it's supposed to prepare you for boot camp. What I mean by that is they will teach you the Sailor's Creed. They will teach you the 11 general orders of a century. And they will teach you the alpha phonetic alphabet, which I have forgotten. We discovered the other day when I went to some place with a buddy. I was trying to use it, and I was like, I'm saying everything wrong. But they'll teach you all that kind of stuff. You usually have meetings like once a week or twice a month or some junk like that you have to go to. You don't really have to go to. You could literally make an excuse to get out of it. If you are still overweight, they will help you work out. Usually they'll get like a group together to go for runs and stuff like that to help you lose some weight. And you just do that literally until you go into to boot camp. They give you that. The detailer will tell you your date, and you're like, cool. And what'll happen is you leave and you go back to the recruiter, and then the recruiter takes you home, and that's it. That's it from there. Other than keeping in touch with the recruiter until your date comes up. Now, another thing that may happen during this time is you may get a call for an earlier date. Somebody might drop out of your rate. You know, somebody might be like, yeah, I don't actually want to go into the Navy, and will drop out. And they'll call you and be like, hey man, you want to go in sooner? And you can say yes, you can say no, you can say whatever, you know. You ready to go? You ready to go? Get it going, man. Get your career started. Another big thing, another important thing is, if you are going to bail out, like if you have second thoughts, or you have doubts, or you don't like your recruiter. I don't like mine. I hated that guy, and it's because I only talked to him fucking twice before I went to boot camp, and then never again. What a dickhole. Anyway, if you have second thoughts, let them know ahead of time. And the reason I'm telling you this is, and when I say ahead of time, I mean after you've signed up and you got your date and everything. If like your mom gets sick, or something happens where you don't think you can go on your specific date, then you need to let them know ahead of time. And the reason for this is so that you don't screw over the recruiter. And it is specifically for that. Nothing bad happens to you, not in real reality. You're not locked into your contract until you're at boot camp. Okay? But you can drop out. But if you do drop out, like you just say fuck this, I'm not going, the last second, and then later on you change your mind and you want to go back in, I can guarantee you that recruiting office is not going to touch you. They aren't going to want to do, they aren't going to have anything to do with you, because you just hurt like their numbers for the month type of thing. It's kind of a stupid reason, but they won't touch you at all. But yeah, that is the basic gist to joining the military.